Hey Megan, you mentioned that you were working on modeling motion with matrices and you needed help with the multiplying. So what I did is I actually looked back at section 2.3 and in the middle of the section they give you some problems, numbers 27 through 46, where they use matrix A and matrix E as I've written down here, and then they talk about how to do adding and subtracting, multiplying and stuff like that. So I wanted to make sure that you knew how to do something called scalar multiplication. Okay, so scalar multiplication, like on problem number 37 in section 2.3, is where you're taking a constant times a matrix. So here we've got 5 times matrix A. And scalar multiplication is simply multiplying each entry of the matrix by the number on the outside. So each inner number gets multiplied by the outer number. So it's kind of like distribution. So 25, 35, negative 30, and 5. So that's scalar multiplication. But we need to also learn how to do what's called matrix multiplication, which is when you multiply two matrices together. Now, this isn't an example in the book, but what I wanted to do is show you how to multiply matrix A times matrix E. So let's write out matrix A and matrix E. So when you're multiplying matrices, your first matrix, all that you look at are the rows of the matrix, and the second matrix, all you look at are the columns. And that number of entries of the rows of this first matrix and the column of this matrix, that has to match. So here we see that the rows are 2 entries in length, and here the columns are 2 entries in length. So that does match, so we can actually multiply them. Now if I were to reverse these the other way around, we wouldn't be able to multiply them because those numbers wouldn't match. Okay, so here's how to multiply these matrices. You take the first row of the first matrix times the first column. So you're going to take this entry, 5 times 8, so 5 times 8 is 40, and then you add to it 7 times 3, which is 21. And that will be the first entry in your new matrix. Then you take the first row times the second column. So 5 times negative 4 is negative 20. 7 times 1 is 7. Then the first row times this third column. So 5 times 2 is 10. 7 times negative 5 is negative 35. So now we've taken the first row times all of the columns, so I know that my first row of my resulting matrix is complete. But now I need another whole row in the resulting matrix, and that will come from the second row of this original matrix. So take the second row times the first column. So negative 6 times 8 is negative 48, and then 1 times 3 is 3. Then take this this second row times the second column. So negative 6 times negative 4 is 24. 1 times 1 is 1. And finally take this row times the last column. Negative 6 times 2 is negative 12. And then you've got 1 times negative 5, which is negative 5. Then to finish it out, we just simply add the numbers that are in each entry so that we get a simplified result. So here I've got 61, negative 13, negative 25, negative 45, 25, and negative 17. And that would be the answer for matrix A times matrix E.